I've had my Etsy store for about a year and a half now, and the first 100 sales were by far the most difficult to get. I've learned so much over these past 18 months and have been able to scale my store to over 3,000 orders and 4,500 sales and $32,000 in revenue. If I was starting all over today, these are the exact steps that I would take to scale my store to success much more quickly and reach those 100 sales in a matter of weeks instead of a matter of months. Starting an Etsy store is kind of like trying to push a giant boulder. At first, it's going to take an immense amount of effort and time just to get the boulder rolling. But once it starts moving, inertia is going to take over and help that boulder to keep moving much more easily and potentially even on its own. I hope that the steps I outlined today can help you get your boulder moving. Also, as we go along today, if you would like to get a free copy of my Etsy Success Starter Guide, you can click the link down in the description. Let's get started on how to make your first 100 sales. Step one is to start with both the customer and the Etsy algorithm in mind. Luckily, they share a lot in common. Think about what the customer wants and also what the Etsy algorithm wants. It wants to know that you're a legitimate business in order to build trust for a customer to buy from you or for Etsy to promote your listing high on the search page. There's three things that both the customer and Etsy are going to be looking at in order to do this. That is your listings, your number of sales, and your number of reviews. That brings us to step number two, which is focus on your listings. Focusing on your listings is really the only thing you can do at the beginning because the other two things are a little bit out of your control at this time. First off, start with a healthy number of listings. I would say if you have a physical product, you want a minimum of 10 right at the beginning. And if you have a print on demand store or a digital product store, this number is likely going to be much higher. That being said, I don't want the number of listings to keep you from opening your store. Just open it. But understand you're going to need to scale the number of listings up right at the beginning if you want to reach those 100 sales. Next, you want to make sure that your listing photos look absolutely beautiful. Etsy is a visual platform. Customers are literally buying with their eyes. So think about your product photography. Are you showing the product from multiple angles? Are you showing it to scale? If it's something that can be on a model, is it on the model, helping the customer envision what it's going to look like on them or in their life? If it's a piece of artwork, are you showing it on the wall behind a sofa so the customer can envision it in their living room? This is what you want to do. Connect with the customer through the photos. Additionally, do you cover all of that boring stuff in the listing description? Things like how long shipping is going to take, what your refund or exchange policy is, and basically anything else that the customer needs to know or should expect from their experience with your shop. You can also do this through some of the listing photos, which I think is a wonderful way to communicate expectations with the customer. For example, if you sell t-shirts or sweatshirts, have a size chart as a listing photo. This just helps clarify expectations from the beginning and lend authority and legitimacy to your shop, therefore getting the customer to trust your shop and to buy from you. Superb product photography paired with details in the listing description is what's going to not only help your listing stand out in a relatively crowded results search page, but it's also going to get the customer to trust you enough and show them that you're a legitimate business enough for them to be able to purchase from you. Next, this brings us to sales. How do you actually get those sales? Eventually, the goal is for Etsy to organically bring you sales so you don't have to drive your own traffic. After all, that's the beauty of selling on Etsy over another platform like Shopify. However, when you're a brand new shop, it can be very beneficial to reach out to friends, family, and Facebook groups to get those first few sales. Reaching out to family and friends is a natural place to start. They know you and they love you and you trust them, and you can feel comfortable talking about your product in your shop. Whether or not they want to purchase from you, after all, don't hound them. It's going to give you great practice talking about the attributes of whatever items that you're selling. You need to get comfortable talking about your product and talking about your store because this is going to help you later in your listings, showing the best things about your product, which is going to make people want to buy from you. If your family or friends don't want to purchase from you, or if it's ultimately something that doesn't really apply to them, I think the next step is looking for Facebook groups. There are Facebook groups for just about everything nowadays, and you can join a few that are most applicable to your product. Of course, you want to be careful here and read the terms and conditions of any group before posting, and also be sure not to spam. But if it's truly applicable, you're going to be offering something that an already interested group of people is going to be willing to buy. So let's run through two quick examples here. If you run an SVG digital product shop, You could join Facebook pages that are specific to Cricut owners or Glowforge owners. And they're already going to be looking for SVG files for their little business or their hobby. So it's a perfect place to start. Another example is that if you get into selling dog collars, join a few dog specific Facebook groups and post there. You could even go into more niche groups like Golden Retriever Facebook groups or Beagle Facebook groups, things like that. Just get creative here, whatever's going to be most applicable to your listing. Before we move on to step 4, I would just like to say if you're enjoying this video and you're learning something, it would mean a lot if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps others find videos like this. So for step 4, we're going to target that third social proof factor, which is reviews. And we're going to do this by following up with the customer. Reviews are vital to getting a customer to trust your shop. They're also vital to where you're going to rank in the Etsy algorithm. It's actually against Etsy's policy to come out and straight up ask for a 5-star review from a customer, but we can still reach out to them while complying with these terms and conditions. What we'll do is after a customer buys, we'll reach out to them and ask them how their experience was. If they have anything negative to say, this is something that we can take back and use to improve our product even more. If the customer liked your product, however, you can go ahead and just ask them to leave a review. You don't have to ask them specifically to leave a 5-star review. If they had a good experience with you and they enjoyed your product, they're most likely going to leave a 5-star review anyway. And last, I have a bit of a bonus tip that's going to be a little bit controversial, but I think that it's really going to help a brand new store starting out. So my bonus step is to be a price loss leader. In general, I'm not a huge fan of price arbitrage. I think that people need to charge what their products are worth and what makes their time and their effort worth it. That being said, if you're a brand new Etsy store looking to launch and get off the ground, sometimes having the lowest price around is going to get a customer to simply check out, get that product in someone's hand, and get those sales and those reviews starting to come in. Once those sales and reviews are starting to come in, you're going to pick up organically in the Etsy search results and in the Etsy algorithm, and you can raise your price to what you deserve. This is definitely not a long-term strategy, and I would only recommend it for the first 10 to 20 sales if you're a physical product store, or the first around 100 sales if you're a digital product store. But I think it's something that can really help you scale much quicker. Hopefully this has helped you formulate a plan on how to launch your Etsy store and get your first 100 sales quickly. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What strategies are you going to employ? What have you tried already? And what's worked? Finally, if you would like a free copy of that Etsy Success Starter Guide, the link is in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next video.